are the roles, the traditional conventional roles of the women. For example, uh, getting up early in the morning, then doing the dishes, washing the, mopping the floor, sweeping the floor, washing the clothes, taking them to the terrace, and these all roles. These all are, they look like they are very small things, but they are pretty exhaustive, right? Are women letting go of these things when they are entering into the workforce? This is the paramount question that we'll have to ask ourselves. So what's happening is that it's leading to the double burden on the women. It is not leading to the emancipation or liberation of the women. It is further increasing the, it is enhancing the, strengthening the suppression or oppression of the women. What is up? What's up, everybody? I hope you are doing well. And today in this video, I'm going to reflect on a very peculiar problem that Indian society, the traditional society, is facing with regards to the gender equality. So gender equality is a good thing, it's a nice thing. Historically, culturally, more or less universally, women have been oppressed, not in the physical sense, but with respect to the fairness and equity. There has not been fairness, equity, and justness with regards to the participation of women in the social, economic, or political spheres. So we see the less participation of women in the economic spheres, for example, in the jobs, in the workforce, in the labor force, and also in the political sphere. For example, there are just 14% of women in the Lok Sabha, while in the population they are 50%, right? And in all the spheres, be it in the religion, the top leaders, the heads, the leaders of the cultural associations or organizations, or the heads of the religious bodies like bishops, the Shankaracharya of the mutts, the religious gurus, they all are men. So what does it show? It shows that historically, culturally, we have seen that there is skewed nature of distribution of both the genders in the various spheres. To put it in a different way, the participation of the women is not as per the percentage share of them in the total population, right? So this has been the case, right? So we talk of the in the present day 21st century modern world, when we have the modern values of equality, justice, freedom. We talk of the equal participation of women in the various spheres that we call gender equality, right? The concept looks very fascinating, and with the rationalization of the society, with the modernization, urbanization, spread of the education, and bureaucratization of the society, with the Western values percolating the Indian society, with the democracy, right, with the government efforts, we are seeing that women are increasingly grabbing the rightful share that they deserve, but they had been kept deprived of for a very long time. So there have been sociologists, scholars. One is Adley Hochschild, if I am pronouncing her name right. She talked of a double burden on the women in her study of Delta Airlines, and she said that women have to face the double burden if they come into the workforce, right? She is a European or a Western, let's say Western. I don't know like what nationality does she come from. Is it a European or American? So she of course has Western origins, and we know that the society in the Western society is more equal than the East, that is India, when it comes to the participation of women in the public sphere. So there women enjoy more equality, freedom, and liberty as compared to the traditional society like India, where religion and religious values are very much there in the minds of the people, which have kept the women, more or less within the four walls of the house. But women there relatively, they are free. This is a fact, right? So now what's happening is that India is also seeing the development happening. With the development, urbanization is happening. Women are coming into the workforce, right? Grabbing the jobs, right? So what's happening is that with the women grabbing the jobs, with the women coming into the economic sphere of the society, with the women getting the employment, standing on their own feet, getting the independence, what should have been the case that this should have led to the so-called liberation, emancipation, and the development of women. This should have led to the freedom. Women should be experiencing the freedom. But what's happening is that, as the early Hochschild said, this has led to the double burden on the women, because in a traditional society, the roles of the women, they are homebound. They are actually homebound, and the roles of the women are like taking care of the dependents, of the elderly, the students. The children. If they are students not grown up, then their work, gets further burdened up, and other household chores, right? Now what's happening is that women are entering into the workforce, but the question here is, are men entering into the kitchen or the domestic sphere at the same rate or at the same pace at which women are entering into the workforce? This is the primary question. And second thing is that women entering into the workforce is a modern idea, right? So if something modern is happening, then the environment should also be conducive to that social change which is taking place. Like, this is a social change. Women earlier were restricted to the homes, but now they are entering into the public sphere. Is the society getting itself adapted to this change, to this major change that is coming into the society? Now, in what ways? In the sense that are the roles, the traditional conventional roles of the women, for example, getting up early in the morning, then doing the dishes, mopping the floor, sweeping the floor, washing the clothes, taking them to the terrace, and these all roles, these all are, they look like they are very small things, but they are pretty exhaustive, right? Are women letting go of these things when they are entering into the workforce? This is the paramount question that we'll have to ask ourselves. This might be the case in the metropolitan cities where the women are educated in the liberal values, and if they have the adequate resources, the capital, the money with themselves, that they can hire the people for these specialized jobs and can focus on their own work in the public space. For example, if they are in the IT sector and they are like drawing 2 lakh rupees per month, then they can easily afford these all the people for these all the domestic chores. So that is fine. More than the capital, it is the mindset which is necessary. More than the capital, it is the mindset that is necessary, because capital, money, wealth, it is very much there in the rural areas. Are the women free there? No, because the mindset is backward. So what's happening in the urban area is that the mindset is progressive, right? So women are entering into the public sphere, but at the same time, just because they have entered into the public sphere, they are working there 5 to 6 in their job. So the household chores, they are getting taken care of by the specialized workforce. For example, there would be a servant, a maid for the different works which are there at home. The lifestyle is changing moreover. In what ways? Earlier they used to buy the grains such as wheat from the market, then converted into the flour. But nowadays they are taking the Ashirwad atta directly from the, and the culture is very much changing there, like Swiggy, Zomato, and these specialized food platforms and the Flipkart culture, McDonaldization of society that is happening, where everything is just ready-made, everything is just at your hand, just 5 minutes away from you. Tap on the Zepto, Swiggy, Instamart, and all the apps out there. So yeah, the life gets changed, like women enter into the public sphere, but in order to support them, the societal structure is also changing and becoming conducive to their demands. The mindset is changing. The way they wear the clothes, put on the clothes, is changing. They are no more into the sari. They know that they have to go to the office. The way we eat is changing. We are not restricted to that traditional, conventionally made food like dal roti. No, the culture is changing. Religion is not given that much of importance. They are not going to the temple early in the morning to pray and then going to the office. No. Things are changing, right? What else? Many more things. But what's happening in the lower cities, in the towns, in the tier 3 to 6 cities? The roles of the women are not changing if they are entering into the traditional or conventional roles of the women are not changing if they are entering into the public sphere. Accordingly, mind this word, accordingly. Because we saw, like in Delhi, Bangalore, and in the metropolitan cities, for the young couples educated in the liberal values, for them, if the women are entering into the workforce, then accordingly the culture at the home, at the family level, the family would be more likely to be nuclear family, would be different, right? Would be accommodative of the fact that the woman is going into the public sphere for the job, so the cultural norms should be relaxed, right? Should be relooked at, right? But what's happening in the lower towns, lower cities is that traditional values are very much there. The society is collectivistic, it's small. The religion is very much ingrained in the mind of the people. People know each other a lot. There is not that anonymity that we enjoy in the urban spaces. The kinship bonds, ties, they are very much there. So what's happening is that they are creating a lot of problems, because this thing, if this presence of traditionalism would be there, then it won't align, it won't gel up, work well with the changing nature of the women because women are getting into the public sphere, right? So what's happening is that it's leading to the double burden on the women. It is not leading to the emancipation or liberation of the women. It is further it is enhancing strengthening the suppression or oppression of the women. Trust me, try to understand what I'm saying. For example, take my mother only, she's a working woman, right? She goes to the school. Now what's happening is that in our town, there is so much of religiosity. We come from the religion which is very religious. I mean, the people are not that liberal. That is fine also. And I'm not saying that religious values are bad. Even rationally, they are good. But not all the times they actually go well with the changing nature of the society. That is, the women entering into the workforce with this particular fact they do not go well with. How? So let me tell you. So just now what happened that it started raining, and I went upstairs. I was on the laptop, working there and my mother called me come and help me. It started raining. We need to take collect the wheat that's spread there on the terrace after she washed the wheat contained in the bags, and then spread it on the terrace for 2 to 3 days so that it gets dried up and we can store it, and then turn it into the floor at our own home, because we won't take it to the shop so as to get it converted into the floor. She would do it by herself because of these cleanliness notions, hygiene notions originating from the religion, right? And this is the reason religion and the values coming from there is the reason she chose to wash the wheat. I told her this is 5k per quintal wheat. It's well sorted, and it's the best premium quality wheat. It doesn't need to be washed. Even if you don't wash it, then it would be good. I told her we can turn to the ready-made flour as well. But she was like, no ways, never. So we finally washed it, and then so that is just one example. There are several examples. For example, not getting a servant employed for washing the dishes because of the cleanliness, purity, pollution notions, or some other notions, she doesn't like it, not because they won't come from a certain caste, so they will come from a certain caste, not because of this. Money is not at all a problem, but just because she wants her work to be done by herself or by any other family member. That is it. So when it comes to washing the clothes, doing the dishes, cleaning the floor, mopping the floor, these areas have been traditionally allocated to the women of the family. And now also when the women are entering into the public spheres, these areas are it's women only, those who are supposed to be managing these areas. What is leading to? It's not leading to their liberation, emancipation, or their freedom. No, it's not. I don't see it happening. If she was in Delhi, say Bangalore or any other metropolitan city, then the case would be different, because women there are very chill. I mean, the whole lifestyle, mindset, notions, values, norms, they all get changed. But in a small cities where collectivity is there, where anonymity is absent, where the community feeling come from a single community, that in the neighborhood are community members. So I told my neighbor auntie, I told her didn't you tell her she should have not been doing this thing, washing the wheat and then spreading it on the terrace and all. She should be a little bit liberal, and she should know how to relax the norms, because she's a working woman. So auntie was yeah, you are right. But then my mom was taking a jibe at her, it is her only in particular, symbolically, or the society, the community in large, those who would then if not scold her, then would say things to her that look, she doesn't wash the wheat and eat the roti with the wheat unwashed, and just like that, what kind of Jain they are, things like that. So my mom was it's a problem from both sides, from both ways. Either if she washes the wheat and spread it on the terrace, or if she doesn't, because if she does, then it would be hectic, because she's not 24 hours home. She has to go to school as well to teach. Okay. And additionally, she's not employing any help or any servants at the home. And on the top, she is also abiding by all the community values, the norms. So she's leading to double, triple, and God knows multiple burdens. This is something peculiar. With the Indian society, traditional Indian society, and if we further delve into it, then with the areas which are not tied very forward. I mean, exceptions are some metropolitan cities. Otherwise, metropolitan cities or some developed cities, capital cities, Otherwise, in the villages, rural areas, in the towns, in the small cities, these collectivistic community values, they are very much present there, and it becomes difficult for the women, the working women, those who are watching this, they might they would be better situated to relate with it. It becomes very difficult for them to cope up with the life because of the deeply entrenched uh, traditional values. What else should I say? And yeah, that one thing was like, this is just one case which is very fresh, and that is why I cited it, like washing the wheat and spreading it on the terrace for it to get dried up. There are multiple cases. For example, she won't eat tata salt, the normal salt that we eat. Rather, she would take the rock salt. Other examples would be, she won't take the masalas, the masalas which are in the packet, and she would try to wash each and everything, like every masala and everything, whatever she can, even the sugar sometimes, and then use it in the food. So there are multiple. Sometimes, being a sociological researcher, being a researcher of sociology, I just looked at it from the sociological lenses, that is her life liberated? Is she liberated? Is this liberation or emancipation of the women, because she is financially independent, right? But when I look at it holistically, then I think no, not really. Not really. This is a matter of investigation, and this is a matter of research. And additionally, I would also like to say that in case if you have got somebody at your home who is a working woman, your sister, mother, daughter, anybody of that sort, then if she is working in the public sphere, already giving her like 6 to 8 hours there, and the fatigue, that exhaustion that comes with the job, then give her the much needed time at home. Don't expect the same age old traditional or conventional norms to be abided by or adhered to by her. It is not possible, humanly possible, and it is not right. And if she herself is doing all the household chores by herself, because she is brainwashed, she is like the woman is socialized in these values in such a way, it's like brought up, when she's raised up, then these values, like her roles of a typical mother, daughter, or sister, and the obligations or responsibilities that come with it in a traditional society like India, they are very deeply ingrained and entrenched in her mind. Yeah. So they would keep doing it, thinking it of their responsibility, no matter they have taken the additional burden on them, like freeing themselves from the bondages of home, and then entering into the work public sphere. They would still keep following them, these domestic norms. So it is our responsibility to recognize it. There have been some efforts in the cinema. For example, a movie came named The Great Indian Kitchen. It's a Malayalam movie. It was a nice effort. And some other TV serials, I don't know, like TV serials, if there are any, but yeah, there are some efforts at the social level which actually needs to be further boosted up. Concerted efforts needs the efforts need to be made, to actually liberate the women. So what could be the solution? There could be two solutions. Either don't send the women in the public sphere or workspace. This could be the one thing. And yeah, one very well-read person, very intelligent person who I had great respect for earlier, a very renowned or distinguished person of the community, of our community, who holds the mic whenever some programs are taking place. So he was once like, I'm not in the support of women, the girls going out in the public sphere. Her own daughter is a teacher for that matter, and another one is also, I guess, working or either aspiring to get into the administrative sphere. So he himself was like, this leads to an economic situation, a situation of disequilibrium, disbalance in the society. If the women enter into the public sphere, they are very well suited to work in the homes only, in the domestic spheres. He was like this. So I didn't expect it. He is himself very well educated. I didn't expect that people like them keep such thoughts in their minds and are then sitting at the helm of the administrative hierarchy of the community. and in the society also, in the town also, much respected person. So these are the thoughts of the people. So one solution could be this. But I personally feel that this is very repressive. This is very repressive. This is not right. That clipping the wings of the women. This is not right. Second thing could be, we will have to change the public sphere accordingly, so as to get it adapted to the changing roles of women. So yeah, something has gone into my eyes with this. Let us wrap it up. Garvit Jan signing off. Jai Hind.